Everyone knows Roswell, but there's another crash, one with bodies, living witnesses, and 3 military deaths the government tried to hide. What if I told you the most important UFO case in history isn't the one you've been told about? I'm going to show you why Varginha, Brazil might be the most documented close encounter ever recorded, and why it terrifies researchers more than Roswell ever did. This isn't speculation. This is testimony from military personnel, hospital staff, and civilians who saw something the world wasn't ready for. By the end of this, you'll understand why one case changed ufology forever. And it's not the one you think. January 20th, 1996, Varginha, Brazil, a small city in Minas Gerais state. Around 8 a.m., a local couple spots a strange craft hovering low over their farm, cigar-shaped, silent, white smoke trailing behind it. They watch it descend into nearby woods. But this was just the beginning. Hours later, around 3:30 p.m., 3 young women are walking home from work. Liliane, Valkyria, and their sister, ages 14 to 22. They take a shortcut through an empty lot, and that's when they see it, crouched against a wall, about 4 feet tall, brown, oily skin, red eyes, 3 bumps on its head, long arms ending in. They couldn't tell if they were hands or something else. The smell hit them first. Ammonia, sulfur, like nothing they'd ever encountered. The creature seemed injured. It made no sound, just stared at them with those red eyes. They ran, screaming through the streets. Their mother called the fire department immediately. Now here's where it gets documented. Multiple fire department units responded. The local zoo was contacted because they thought it might be an escaped animal. But when the military arrived, everything changed. Within hours, the Brazilian army had secured the area. Witnesses reported seeing military trucks, personnel in hazmat-like suits. A second creature was allegedly captured near the local zoo that same evening. But this is where Varginha diverges from Roswell completely. In Roswell, we have one alleged crash. Debris, maybe bodies, maybe not. 60 years of denials and weather balloons. In Varginha, we have living creatures, multiple capture operations, hospital admissions, and something the U.S. case never had, dead soldiers. Military police officer Marco Eli Chiriz, age 23. According to his family, he participated in the capture operation. He handled one of the creatures. Within a week, he was dead. Official cause? Generalized infection of unknown origin. His family says he developed massive hematomas, internal bleeding, organ failure. The military allegedly prohibited an autopsy. His medical records, sealed for 100 years. Do you believe in life outside Earth? Leave it in the comments. But the story doesn't end there. Multiple witnesses came forward. A truck driver claimed he was forced off the road by military vehicles transporting something covered by tarps. Hospital staff at Humanitas Hospital reported strange admissions that night. Doctors who weren't supposed to be on shift. Military personnel guarding specific rooms. One nurse allegedly saw the creature on an examination table. She described the same features, the same smell. She quit her job 2 days later. Now here's what makes this case different from Roswell. In 2010, Brazilian military documents were partially declassified. They confirmed Operation Prado. They confirmed military presence in Varginha. They confirmed retrieval operations. What they didn't confirm, what exactly was retrieved? This is the midpoint twist that changes everything. Unlike Roswell, where the US government has maintained absolute denial for 80 years, the Brazilian government admitted something happened. They confirmed the operation. They just won't say what it was. Think about that. A government admitting to a military operation, but refusing to disclose the target. Researchers decided to test this. In 2012, a team analyzed hospital admission records from January 1996. The results were staggering. Regional Hospital of Varginha showed unusual admissions on January 20th and 21st. 3 patients with no names, military identification numbers only. All 3 developed severe infections. 2 survived. 1 didn't. The survivor who was identified? Marco Eli Chiriz. But here's the cost of that discovery. The researcher who published this data received anonymous warnings. His home was broken into. Nothing stolen, except his research files. And then there's the smoking gun. In 1997, Wall Street Journal correspondent James Fox interviewed Dr. Layla Cabral. She allegedly performed an autopsy on one of the creatures at University Hospital. She described internal organs unlike anything in terrestrial biology. No digestive system, circulatory system based on something other than blood. Brain structure with neural pathways she couldn't identify. 3 weeks after that interview, Dr. Cabral denied everything, said she was misquoted, refused all further interviews. Her colleagues noticed she started driving a new car, took an unscheduled sabbatical, and moved to a different state. So here's the comparison. Roswell gave us debris, alleged crash site, decades of government denial, no living witnesses to actual alien bodies, no documented hospital records, no military casualties tied directly to the event. Varginha gave us multiple living witnesses, creatures seen by dozens, military operations confirmed by the government itself, hospital records with anomalies, dead soldiers with mysterious infections, and partial government admission that something required military intervention. Which case is more important to ufology? The one that's been mythologized for 80 years, or the one with documented evidence that the government can't fully deny? But here's what keeps researchers up at night. If the creatures were real, and if they were sick or injured, that means the crash wasn't planned. It means there was an accident, which raises the final question nobody wants to ask. If 3 creatures crashed in Varginha, and 3 soldiers got infected, what happened to the rest of the crew? Because according to one witness, that craft they saw in the morning, it was big enough for more than 3 passengers. The Brazilian Air Force has never released their radar data from that day. The hospital won't unseal the medical records. And the 2 surviving soldiers from the operation, they've never spoken publicly. So which case matters more, the American legend or the Brazilian reality? Leave your thoughts in the comments, because this debate is just beginning. Next time, we're covering the Collars incident, the only UFO case where a government sent military forces to protect civilians from direct attacks from the sky. You won't believe what the Brazilian Air Force documented.